Hi everybody, Ben here from Art Less Ordinary. So, tonight I am going to do a ring pour. So, what I have is I've managed to get some of my older paints. So, I've got my global purple. I have, if I can remember where I put them, ultraviolet. And this one is actually marte light purple. And then I've got black and white. So the three purples are 25 grams paint, 50 grams Australian floetrol. The black and the white are 10 grams paint, 20 grams floetrol. So I am going to do dark, light, medium, dark, light. So kind of do it in an order. I'm going to try and do 3 layers of each colour. So now these paints actually feel really thick. The global paints are quite thick, but also they're a bit old. So I'm hoping that I've mixed them smooth enough. So about 1/3 into the bottom, then 1/3. So I made sure there's less white and black because I don't want it to take over. About 1/3. These are definitely thick. I hope they're not too thick. About 1/3. And there we go. So now we go the other part. And I'm just going to keep layering them in that order that I had. Just remember, the first colour you put in your cup will be the last colour out of your cup. So I used to always use the Global and Eraldo di Paulo paints. The only reason I kind of stopped using them was they were getting harder to get, and 2, their consistencies were so uneven that it wasn't so easy to get the right measurements. So it's a little bit of tweaking sometimes, maybe adding a little bit more floetrol in it to try to get them at the same consistency. So sometimes certain brands can frustrate you just because of that reason. Like there's always some colours that are a little bit differently consistent to others, but I was just finding it was happening way too much. But I've heard Global are starting to make the paints again, so I'd like to go and see what they're like and if I can be happy, because I used to get really good results with them. Even though I do like Mont too. They're both what I would call a reasonably priced, decent paint. Because as we know here in Australia, paints can actually cost quite a bit, especially when you get the imported brands. So with the ring pour, you do want your paints to be a little bit thicker than other pours. But it has to still have some movement in it too. So let's hope that I haven't left them too thick. I haven't really done a ring pour for a little while now. I did a ring pour with ribbons. But this one's just going to be just a straight ring pour. Nothing else added. Okay, that's it for my colours. Now, I'm going to pinch the cup to make a spout, and I'm going to pour it into the canvas and just continue around in a circular motion. So the one thing I did like about these Eraldo and Global paints is the black didn't take over as much as I find it is with the Mont Marte. That would be my biggest concern lately with my Mont Marte paints, is the black is just being a bully, and I don't want it to. So you're best to try to stay in the middle of the canvas. It's quite easy to actually maneuver yourself a little bit so it's not in the middle. It's just what happens. Okay, slow it down now. It's getting to the end of the cup. So you make it really slow and try to keep your cup as close to the canvas as possible. I'm going to have to stop there because my back won't allow me to be in that position anymore. Sometimes leaning forward, even just for a couple of minutes, doesn't be friends with your back. So as I can see already, the black is not going to take over this painting, which is perfect. I am going to give it a quick torch before I start tilting to get rid of some of these air bubbles. Okay, I've got it on super low setting. I hate these full gas bottles. I want to just empty half of it into nothing because they frustrate me. So I'm just going to maneuver around a little bit. I don't like to fuss too much when I do a ring pour. I do tend to want to go over the edges quite quickly, so I'm going to just go for it. So over that corner, back, bring it down to the bottom. I'm going to go over the bottom corner, sorry I'm off camera, and back. The paint's roughly in the middle. So now we want to go down to this bottom corner, go over and back. And now stretching all the way over to the other side. The paint's moving quite slowly now. So it will get there, it's just going to take its time. Come on, there we go, over the corner. Excellent. And then come back. Sorry I'm holding it off camera, I just got to stretch this paint back down to where we were. Alrighty, now check your corners to see if they are fully painted or not. That corner is now. That corner was pretty good. I think that corner's done, and that corner was done. So now we just got to work out which area do we want to stretch it a little bit more, and I'm going to want to stretch it down this way. Extend those bigger lines at the top and reduce this bigger purple area down the bottom here. Okay. I don't think I'm going to be able to stretch it too much more. I think that's about it. I don't think I can do too much more because there's not really enough paint and it's quite thick, so it doesn't really want to move too much more. And you just got to make sure you don't get any areas that start sticking because of any reason. Could be multiple reasons why the paint sticks. So I'm just going to do another scrape underneath, just to remove all those excess drips. And while you're at it, you just check your corners to make sure that they are fully covered and that you haven't skipped a piece. Move my cup so I can actually get in. Okay. I don't really think there's too much I can actually do to this now. I might just quickly torch it, but I know this blowtorch is going to go crazy. Yeah. I'm not liking that blowtorch right now. It's just being too aggressive. Okay, I finished. So this is a nice ring pour. There's not as much definition with the white or the black as I was expecting. I got a bit more grey. Over here there's some white lines, but I actually was thinking there was going to be a bit more white and a bit more black. So using different brands of paints will give you different effects. The Mont blacks, for some reason, it just wants to be a bully, when this one here just kind of settled itself back into the background, which they both have their merits at different times, depending on what you're actually going for. So what I will do is, I might bring you down for a close-up, because that's about all I can do. Okay, here we go. So this is what I see from my angle. So it's got nice defined lines. It's not completely circular, which I think is because the paints are quite thick. But as you can see, it's got nice lines running down. This is the center area here. As you can see, there is some black and some white in there, but not as strongly defined. Over to this side. And back. And there we go. Not much to it. A bit of an easy pour tonight. Something a little bit little bit simple, not too long, and just trying out my other paints that I used to use quite frequently. So I may have to try this with the newer paints and see what the difference I will get with using a different brand doing the exact same type of measurements and technique. See how that turns out. Well, I hope everyone had a good time watching this. Let me know what you think. So comment, like, share the videos, and subscribe if you have not already. Have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow. All right, bye.